A Cuppa Joe Nintendo is powered by the You, Me, and Capri Patreon. We want to say thank you to our gold level patrons like Brendan Myers, James Johnson, Ryan Turford, Egg Shen, Nasty Boots and Tammy, Joel Brooks, and Jonathan Brown. Thank you everyone for all of your support.
Hey, Sean, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, Bobby, hey, good to see you, man. How you feeling? It's been a bit.
Been a little bit.
Yeah.
Listen, man, dude, I started playing this. What is it? New Super Lucky's Tale.
Ooh, did you?
Ooh.
I played that one.
Bro, listen to this. Okay, so I don't know when it was. Maybe last week sometime. I was talking to Toby, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing? How you feeling? All that stuff." We're going
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's good. He's
Yeah,
whatever. He's Toby, and so then I said to him, like, "Are you playing anything?" And he said, "Super Lucky's Tale," and I was like,
Yeah.
"I got that," and I was like, "I played like a little bit of the first world," and I was like, "It bored me. I didn't like it." And he was like, "Oh man, I'm really having a good time with it." And I was like, maybe I'll go back and check it out again, and I did.
Nice.
Thank God I did. This game is fantastic.
What the heck?
Like, this game is really, like, if people are looking for, like, even if you're looking for a good 3D platformer, like a Galaxy, or not necessarily a Galaxy, but like in that
kind of
realm,
like 3D Land,
like 3D,
actually.
yeah, 3D World, like
3D
like
World,
a 3D World type thing. Like, oh my God, this game is so good, and it does so much so well. It's not even funny. Like the little worlds are self-contained. Like I just got to the second world, so that's got me a little hyped. But it's basically like these cats are trying to take over the world. So you're trying to stop these cats from taking over the world, and you're a little fox. And but the thing is like you're sitting there, and it's like the worlds are like just self-contained. Like they're just these little cool, little quirky worlds that they're all based around one thing. They all have one thing going, and it's like this is just really cool. Like they'll do like in one world you're like it's all 3D, like it's all just 3D world, and then the next world is like it's kind of like 2.5D side scrolling, and it's like they do it so good. Like they just kill it, and I'm like, I can't get enough of this game. Like I have been playing it off and on, because obviously when I stream I play different things that I can't necessarily play.
You don't ever want to stream like something like that? Like you're always playing like multiplayer stuff.
I do, but I just like to play with the community.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's my strong point, is playing with those guys and hanging out and yelling at them and giving them a hard time. It's always fun to me.
Come to Bobby's stream to get screamed at.
Well, they like it.
It's a weird allure, but I get it.
Well, like it's because why? Because when I'm yelling at you, it's because you're beating me. And that's
that's
so it's
true.
Like it's like fun to like.
Yeah, you don't punch down. That's true.
Exactly. It's like it's fun to beat on somebody and then have them yelling at you like, "Why did you do that?" I know that they love, like, if we're playing Mario Kart and I'm like in the lead and then they hit me with a red shell and then another red shell or a lightning bolt and I start screaming. I know they love it because they're just like, I got the idiot.
Got him.
Like I
got him.
So yeah, it's whatever. What about you? What do you been playing anything or?
Yeah, man. Can I tell you something real special? And this is the thing, man. When we get together every once in a while, you're gonna get like the corny cheese ball from me every once in a while. Because last night, fired up Luigi's Mansion with the family. We had a nice family like gaming night, and by gaming night I mean like we maybe got through the first half an hour, which is mostly like cinematics and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was super special, man. We fired it up, and Lincoln and Ellie, like Ellie is loving Mario more than Lincoln did it. At that age,
really,
at like a year old, she's just like she's
good.
Pointing and she's cooing and she loves it. So we're playing around and we got through the point where like the whole like mansion is kind of like taken over, and Lincoln he just grabs the controller out of my hand.
No man,
and he's just like, I'll wander around now too. I'm like, this is sweet, man. It's just like, not that I'm like really looking forward to him growing up or anything, but it's kind of awesome to just fire up a game. Have him. He's no longer hitting the share button 100 times. Like he's moved on from that part. So we're making real progress, man.
That's good, man.
So I'm looking for that'll be like kind of a family gaming thing. I think either between like the kids on the couch or like Chelsea and I want to do some co-op on that. But I'd never played a Luigi's Mansion game before.
Oh, dude.
This is my first one.
They're fun.
It's pretty sweet, dude. It's gorgeous. Like holy cow, the HD era of Mario games like continues to wow me, right?
It does.
Like I'm sitting there looking at his mustache. I'm like, look at the detail in his mustache.
Yeah, they've really.
It's crazy.
I think that like HD does a wonderful thing for like realistic graphics, but man, it really does something special for Nintendo stuff.
Yeah.
Because it just takes these games that you're like, it makes them like Pixar movies. Like you're playing a Pixar movie. You know, it is. They do such a fantastic job. It's not even funny. And like, like we thought it was funny that Nintendo would actually be like, you can actually see the hairs in Mario's mustache. And it's like,
I know.
No, you can. Like,
you really can.
It's really something awesome. So
yeah, I love the little quirks in this game though, man. Like they all get into the mansion. It's like a hotel, like they're staying there. Luigi's got his luggage, and you just see like it's just little things. If you're looking for him, they're there.
Yeah.
He's got his luggage open, and his clothes are packed of like the exact same outfit. Like he's got another like pair of overalls and like green undershirt and everything. Like it's just hilarious. Like, why does he even pack clothes? He's just gonna wear the same thing, but he does.
Pretty much, right? That's all they wear is the same getup. Like it's like
over and over.
Yeah,
like a Simpsons joke.
Yeah, we're just gonna. Hey, we're gonna pack 15 red and blue suspenders and shirts, and we're just gonna go.
I wonder if there's more hats. I gotta wrap my head around these controls though, man. I don't know if I don't really.
A little bit.
I'm wondering if I should invert. Like that's the other thing. It doesn't come.
I don't want to hear about this stupid nonsense.
Don't appreciate you not appreciating my need to invert.
You're just ridiculous with that stuff. Like I get like if people enjoy it, but you actually act like you cannot play a game.
It's not
unless it's inverted.
Nobody says that they enjoy it. It's not, Bobby. It's not a choice. Okay, it's not a choice. We're born this way.
No, it's not.
We're born this way, and we can't live another way. And anything you say is bigotry against me and my kind.
Please stop it. Just play the game and enjoy it. I don't even think about that stuff. I just go and go, okay.
Must be nice. It must be nice with your non-inverted privilege, Bobby.
Whatever, man. I just play the game. I love it.
No challenges for you. Everything's built for you. I get it. It's fine.
I love that things are built for me. It makes life wonderful. Especially.
I'm gonna be playing Astral Chain forever though, Bobby. This game is forever.
That game it's a pretty long game.
Since the last time we chatted, I've got my next Legion. Things are progressing along, but like, dude, I'm gonna be at this thing forever. So I just wanted to like point that out, that I just keep plugging away at. Basically, like Astral Chain and Diablo and Ring Fit are always happening. But
with Astral, when you get additional legions that could do additional things, that's when it really starts getting good.
Pretty sweet, dude.
That's pretty awesome when you get to your second, your third, and your fourth. It's like, oh yeah, man. Because they do different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like different legions do different things, and it's like, so man. I've said it before. I say this to you every now and again. It's like when Platinum does their thing, there's no stopping them. Like,
do you mean like when they do Wonderful 101? Like, is that their thing?
No, that was bad. That was bad.
Maybe not every time.
Well, man, like people are acting like this is the second coming of Christ.
Yeah,
and
isn't it crazy?
And it's like, okay, guys, I get you. You enjoyed the game, but the game's trash. Now, I don't know whether or not it's because of the controls or what it was. I couldn't get past the first couple of levels. Yeah. I was just like, no way, dude. Like, there's games that should be ported from the Wii U. This is not one of them.
Wow.
And okay, I know that like people love this game, and I think that's the problem. Either you really love it, or you just can't get it and you don't like it. And it's like there's no middle ground with this. There's no like, you know what? I played it, I enjoyed it. It's I loved it or I hated it. I don't know anybody who was just like, nah, you know what? Like I put time into it. I liked it. It was a good game. I didn't finish it, but I really liked it. You don't hear that. It's either like, oh my god, this is a great game, or this is terrible. And I'm kind of on the this is terrible type thing. Like I get why they're doing it. Well, I don't get. Like I do and I don't. Like, I guess Nintendo just didn't want to pony up the money to port it. You know what I mean? And I think
why they did the Kickstarter, or why they're porting it at all?
Well, partly both. You know what I mean? Like, you would think that if Nintendo's looking for games, which right now they're really not,
right?
For you to go to them and go like, hey, can we have money to port this? I don't think Nintendo was like, no, we're good. Like that That blows my mind. And Nintendo would be like, "Nah, we're good." And then not only that, to be like, "Hey, you could put it on PlayStation as well."
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, they must get, so they own like half of it or something like that. So I guess they would maybe still get some of the extra sales.
They're gonna get money off of it. That's no doubt.
They got their exclusivity, like the bonus of the exclusivity out of it. Like they don't need the exclusivity of the Wonderful 101 on Switch to do really anything for them. Like it was for the Wii U, and like they needed exclusives back then. So now it's like, whatever, man. I think people are mostly just like enthralled with the idea of the game more than the game itself. Yeah. Like the Wonderful 101 #1 is a great title. Yeah. Right. Cool. And like all of that comes with it, the characters and everything, the look of it, maybe, and the world, the creativity, and it's very unique. But when I think so. What to your point, like when you sit down and play, you're like, I just don't know about this.
Yeah. Part of me feels like I want to, because I was listening to the 8-4 Play podcast, and they were talking about it, and they were saying like. They would hope that when they redo this, that they do a better tutorial, because what they said was the tutorial makes it extremely difficult to get the controls, and that you don't really truly get the controls and start enjoying the game until the third quarter of the game.
Right.
Well, that's bad. And that would explain to me why, hey, Bobby, you didn't like it. So I'm going to pay attention to it. I'm going to stay close to it, pay attention to it. I know Joe after work loves this game. So I'm going to really pay attention to like his streams, and if he is streaming, I'm going to watch and see what it's about and get a good feel of it. But
what did you think of the Kickstarter overall, though? Like,
I was $50,000
goal.
Holy cow!
They raised like $1 million and more, but the game's out. Like the game's coming out.
It's
done.
Coming out. Yeah.
What did you think of that?
Well, the thing that blew me away. This is the first time ever, and I've gone and looked at some successful Kickstarters taking place. I can't ever tell you, me personally, a single solitary time that I went to Kickstarter and the numbers were literally scrolling.
Yeah.
Like just rolling. Boom, 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 boom. And it was like, what? Like literally every second that I was sitting there, someone was donating money. And I was like, this is unbelievable. Like I've been where like you have to go back multiple times to see it happen. They literally got, I mean, it was green lit within the first 10 minutes. Like it was no brainer. So it's crazy to me too that like the rumor mills lately are just missing the beat on everything. Because they were like, oh, this is coming. This is going to be coming. Like in terms of like it's a done deal. It's going to be showing up on the Switch. The Kickstarter nobody saw coming, and then it did finally. We're like, oh, there's a rumor there's going to be a Kickstarter, but like. That was after the fact, because a while ago they were just like, "It's coming, it's going to be coming."
Yeah.
So, it's pretty intriguing.
But you don't take personal offense to it like some people are on the internet. Yeah, I agree.
Because they're not Nintendo. They're not Nintendo. They're not Sony. They're still a small studio, and I know that like they made a deal with Tencent or whatever, and their Tencent bought into them and all that stuff, and I get that part of it. But like, this is something they were working on before the Tencent deal. And this is also something that they don't want Tencent to have their hands on. And it's also something that like Tencent can't have their hands on because Nintendo has a say in it. You know,
what do you think of Kickstarter being a thing for like basically pre-orders? Like this is
that I don't know.
You don't like getting perks out of that way? Like
Kickstarter is not a pre-order system.
I mean, it kind of is in this case.
It's not. Because if this game doesn't reach its goal, it doesn't get made. I do not agree with the idea that Kickstarter becomes a pre-order system.
I don't know if that's the case though. Is that the thing? Like in this case, like that's what I mean. Like the game was done.
Oh, and of course the game was done.
This to me was more like I was on the Trophy Room. I was a guest on Joseph Moran and Miss Babbitt's podcast, and I was saying to him like this is more of a marketing thing, and I'm thinking I'm okay with it. It's just that the title of the website Kickstarter implies that this is supposed to be seed money, but like publishers and developers and whoever can like kind of do whatever they need to with
not
the
necessarily
stunts.
Because like okay, so I look at like Chicken Wiggle, right? Like that game was done, and that version could have gone on the Switch. He wanted to improve it and fix it. He didn't have the money to improve it and fix it and port it to the Switch, because you got to port it too. It's not just a matter of like done. You know,
I get it. What I'm saying is that there's like it originally started as like one way Kickstarter, and like crowdfunding and those types of things started as like one way for like things to get made that otherwise wouldn't be made. But like it has evolved. Like there's probably 6 or 7 or maybe even 20 different ways that you can leverage Kickstarter to kind of do what you need. So this is kind of like big budget doing its big budget thing on like a grassroots type of tool.
Yeah,
which I think is interesting.
Well, it's trying to put eyeballs on it. But
Totally.
but what I'm saying is like I don't view it as a pre-order system, and I don't want it to become a pre-order system for bigger companies.
Yeah.
Like I get it that it's a way for bigger companies to go, we don't feel like there's interest in it. Go see if you can raise $1 million. If you can raise $1 million, we'll back it the rest of the way. That stuff I've seen, and I guess I don't even agree with that. Like I don't like that. Like I feel like you're asking me to fund it when you have the money to fund it, and it's like I don't like that per se, because that's how Shenmue was funded. Like the money was there, it was done, it was a done deal. But Sony was just like, if you get $3 million, we'll give you the rest. Yeah.
Well, this is a truly non-refundable pre-order, as we talked about last time we got together. That's it. So I agree with you. I'm not sure that I want to see that, like, but I don't think that we can really force one way or another. It doesn't really matter what we think, but it's just interesting. You're going to watch all these different companies of various sizes do what they're going to do.
Yeah, but, I mean, you're right. I mean, it is what it is, though. I guess we'll see how it all pans out. This I gotta ask you, because I'm on one side, and a lot of people are on the other side that I've seen and I've talked to. But like this Animal Crossing thing, how badly? Because you're Mr. Cloud Save, so how badly are you pissed about?
I'm pissed.
Are you seriously pissed?
Yeah, I think I
am.
Okay,
so why are you upset?
Because I bought my Switch Lite. Well, I mean, I knew about this ahead of time. That's the first thing. Is just like I'm not upset at the news. I'm not like this is not newfound pissed.
Yeah, okay.
It's just like continued and just like a reminder of Nintendo land. You're gonna hit these things. Like I would love to be able to go for my Switch and my Switch Lite back and forth and have no problems with it and no troubles. But
I think part of the problem is Nintendo really believed this game is going to be a community family game. Meaning, we're going to make one island on the Switch. And you're going to play with your kids, and your kids are going to play on that island. This decision is not a decision for you or I, where we have one lonely island, and that's all we do.
I'm shocked that you're not upset because you want multiple islands for multiple things.
Yeah, but I just pop.
You want your streaming on? Yeah, well, I guess you have your 17 Switches, so
it's fine. Yeah, we're just.
So that's what it takes in order to be okay with that.
No,
is that you have to buy multiple Switches, multiple copies.
No, well, that part of it doesn't bother me because here's the thing.
Because you have it.
No, because when I was married, I would have bought 2 Switches anyway. We would have.
That's my problem. Okay, so that's the thing. I feel like that's wrong. I feel like it's wrong for you to have to do that in order to enjoy that benefit.
We did it with the Wii. We didn't it doesn't bother me. It's like, hey, this is what you want. Go do it. It shouldn't, because the other thing too is this, Sean, is because we played in the world of like you can play, you can do your thing, you can have fun, but I want to play, and you're playing. You're occupied on the machine that I want to play the same game you're playing. So that's why we would go and buy additional Switches. It's not that we didn't mind sharing a town or any of that stuff. We were fine with that aspect. It was, hey man, you're fishing right now, and I want to catch fish that you're catching. Get off the machine. And so for us, that's where it became like, when the 3DS got announced, we went out immediately, both of us, and bought 3DSs. Mm-hmm. We had to wait 3 years for that game, but we bought it immediately. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I'm already ingrained on this is the system that Nintendo has chosen for this game. It's fine. I think
you're already brainwashed.
Well, no, it's not brainwashed.
Stardew Valley is a game that was made by one dude, has 3 save files. This is basic stuff, man.
It's not, but that's not what it's about. Again, let's back it up. This game is the first time ever that you and I could literally pop the Joy-Cons off. You take one, I take the other, and we play in the same town at the same time.
Super cool.
That's the first time. And I think Nintendo is like, we want to force people to take advantage of that. and that's what they're doing. It's you don't have to agree with it, but
I know, and I'm not trying to win an argument here.
Yeah, I don't feel
and I don't think you are either.
No.
Like that's just we're gonna end up on the same.
No, because
side
at the end of the day, I just want to play the game.
I think it's insane. I think it's absolutely insane to not have more than one save file. Period.
I just think that all this stuff is white noise and people screaming, and when the game comes out, you're not going to hear this anymore. It's going to go away. It's going to be like anything else.
I know that's the part that drives me crazy.
It doesn't drive me crazy because there's one thing that I want, and that's Animal Crossing on my Switch, and I don't care about the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's screaming and yelling right now because they don't have it. The minute this game drops, it all disappears.
I know, it's crazy. It's amazing, really, what the power that Nintendo has, because we're starting to, to me, these are equivalent, if not even worse than maybe not worse, but these speak to anti-consumer stuff. The not being able to refund, we're gonna make you buy multiple copies of the game to get multiple save files or multiple islands or multiple Switches. It's not even if I had 2 copies and put it onto the same Switch. You need 1 island per Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So Chelsea can't use my Switch and her copy of the game. She's got to go buy her own Switch. It's insane. That's insane to me, Bobby.
I mean, it is what it is.
How can you not see that that's insane?
Because it's
I know it doesn't impact you personally.
No, because it's something that's been happening for years. This is
right.
not.
That's the saddest part. It's 2020. That's so sad.
I hate that argument so much. I hate it so much. Because
it's 2020 and we have moved beyond
every
this?
year it's it's 2020, it's 2019, it's 2018. I hate that argument.
True.
I think it's
That's
the
true.
dumbest argument in the world. It's
because
you know what it is? Because you know what it is? Seriously? It's your argument isn't valid. I'm just going to throw this out here, and you have nothing to say in response.
Okay.
So
I'll put it this way. Stardew Valley came out how many years ago, and it had 3 save files.
But that's that's what that guy wanted to do. That's what that guy wanted to offer.
It's because that's what gamers expect, because that's what games do. Yeah, that's why. That's the point.
But this is going back to, this is what Nintendo wants you to play a particular way. They're trying to tell you this is how this game is intended to play.
It makes me not want to buy it. I don't have enough time to play it anyway.
Well, your wife is buying it regardless whether you want it or not, so that's irrelevant. That's the thing.
And wouldn't it be great if I could just play on her copy instead of actually having to buy 2? I'd play her island.
Yeah, but that's
crazy. That's crazy.
Why?
Because it is. It's crazy that I can't go play my island on her game. I've got to go destroy her island, or I got to go that's crazy. I don't care. Man.
I don't think it's crazy. I think it's what they're.
Oh my god!
I think it's what they want to do.
Of course it is.
No,
of course it is.
No, what I'm saying is
because
they're trying.
It sells extra copies.
That has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with. I don't believe it has anything to do with sales numbers. It has nothing to do with sales.
You're literally saying I'll buy multiple copies. I don't care.
No, because that's. No.
But they lead into that, man. It's like gouging.
It's not.
It's brutal.
First off, stop. I'm serious. Stop.
No, this is why people get riled up because
you're getting riled up because it's not your way. But listen to me.
Nintendo fans defend to the end.
It's not defend. Sean, listen to me. They want. This game is a different type of game.
I feel like it's not technologically advanced enough. Then I don't even want it.
No, then don't get it. It's that simple. That's my answer to you. If you don't want it, don't get it. My thing is... I
think we do have to speak with our wallets on this one. I think people really do.
And you're going to lose the battle. This is no different than Pokemon. No different than Pokemon.
And I didn't buy that either.
No, serious. Everybody screamed and cried and pissed and moaned about it. And then guess what? It's the number one selling unit. Number one selling game in how long? That's where I'm annoyed. It's just because this is what you want doesn't make it right. This is what Nintendo. This game is a different type of game. If you don't get that, that's fine.
I don't see the benefit. I don't see the benefit of locking this in. This is really the crux of the conversation, I think, is that if Nintendo made this choice as a gameplay choice that made the experience better, I can get on board with that. But this does not make the experience better.
How do you know that?
How does it?
Because you don't get a town. But in the meantime, we want you to play it with your family. To do this
Why does it have to be an either or, though? I don't understand that part.
It doesn't. If you don't want to play that particular way, then here's the other ways to go do it. Go do it that way.
Go buy it.
Yeah.
That's like Don Matrick saying, well, if you don't like the family sharing and all the things we're doing with Xbox One, we have a console for. If you want a console that doesn't have to connect to the internet, we have a console for you. It's called the 360. Like that's real asshat messaging.
The thing is, Sean, this is where I feel like people that have played Animal Crossing for a very long time get it, and they understand it. I feel like people that aren't really, and as whatever to say, like I feel like people that aren't Animal Crossing fans are expecting one thing, but people that love Animal Crossing and have been playing it since the GameCube era, they understand it. It has always been the type of game that you play together, that you share together, that you do stuff like that together. It's just the way it's always been.
I feel like I'm less upset about the actual decision by Nintendo than I am by fans to defend it. Like, it's just crazy to me.
No, that's whatever. It is what it is. I'm in the mindset of I just want to play the game, and everybody screaming is whatever to me. I just want to play the game. And you being upset isn't going to change my mind on it. I'm more upset.
No doubt.
No. I'm more upset because here's the thing too. I'm more upset about the idea of like they don't have a working answer for if my Switch breaks, getting a new Animal Crossing on it, or I lose my town.
Yeah,
That's being worked on. They said that this week that like they are working on something that'll be if your Switch breaks or you lose it or whatever, you'll be able to back it up. But that is a little bit. But I understand. Like I understand that it's not a black and white situation with this thing. Like people want it to be. People want to be like, well, I'm paying for cloud save. It should just work. But that encourages cheating for them. And this is the thing that you're shaking your head because you don't understand it. So I get it. What people were doing was you have two switches, right? The way the save system works is if you don't trigger it to work, like if you don't shut that, because the way the Switch works is if it doesn't shut off, if you don't turn that game off, it doesn't back up to the cloud. So if I start playing my town here and I get an item and then I trade it to you, right? Or I get the item, I save it, now it's on both switches. Then I get the item and I trade it to you, but I don't save the game. I shut it off, but I don't save it. Then I go on my other Switch and I have that item still. What people were doing in the past were they were occupying a bunch of different items, the same item, valuable items, and they were then selling them to little kids on Facebook and stuff, and it was upsetting people. And I think that's what Nintendo is trying to discourage and stop, and they don't have a workaround for it yet, and they're trying to figure that out. That's crazy to me that like you've had years to work on that part of it and you haven't figured that out by the time this game launches. But at least they're acknowledging it, and they're saying at least it's not one of those things that are like we don't have any answer at all, and when we get to it, we'll get to it. So.
Dude, it's all bonkers. I don't even want the game. I'm so fed up with it. It's so crazy. Sorry. The game's your system's gonna crash and you're like, tough luck. It doesn't. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Do you know that Sakurai thinks there's too many Fire Emblem characters in Fire Emblem or in Smash?
Everybody thinks that, except for
Nintendo. He finally said it. It's time to move on. He said.
Well, yeah.
Like, now that he's got everybody in it.
Well, yeah, because
thanks, Sakurai.
I think they're just trying because it's one of those things that I feel like Smash has made Fire Emblem a household name. I don't feel like it was one of those games that sold millions and millions of copies based off Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a game that gets a mobile game without Smash. You know, I think
not.
It's one of those games that just takes it to the next level, and I think that what he's acknowledging and what he's saying is that like you wouldn't have gotten Blythe or Byleth or whatever unless Nintendo wanted to promote that game. And that's the way it's always been. Every single iteration of Smash, every time that a Fire Emblem game comes out, we get the main character in the game. And you know, I guess it's okay. It's whatever. I could care less. You know, if you love Byleth, then you're happy. If you don't, then whatever.
I'm mostly just really amazed at like how two-way this conversation is about Smash with Sakurai specifically. Like it is like everybody feels like they're in that office with him. Like we feel like we know everything. We know how like kind of everything has come to light. We know how the decisions are being made. Like the community engagement. This is where like Nintendo shines. Is like here are more characters. You thought it was everything like, and we're having fun together. Like with the troll reveals, everything like that. And now just saying like, we hear you. Like this, I feel like this is about as honest as I've heard Nintendo being like, we get it.
I think he gets away with it for a couple of reasons. One, he's not really an employee of Nintendo. He's kind of
really.
Yeah, he doesn't work directly for Nintendo. He works for HAL Studios or HAL whatever. So it's an offshoot of Nintendo, but he's like kind of like a hired gun type deal. He works exclusive for Nintendo.
He's a mercenary. He doesn't answer to nobody.
Yeah, it's one of those. So I think he kind of can get away with stuff a little bit. And and don't get me wrong, he's not going to work for Sony tomorrow. That doesn't, he loves Nintendo. He loves.
Of course.
It's what it is. But I think that's part of the thing.
Like, he doesn't necessarily have to toe the company line.
He's not Miyamoto. You know what I mean? Like he's not employed by.
That's why you can flip the bird.
Yeah.
Video.
So I think he kind of gets away with a little bit more, but I also think that like Nintendo realizes what they have with him, and he's an asset. He's as much a part of Smash as Smash characters are. And I think that's
put him in the game.
Would be well, you can. It's called Mii Fighters. So
that's true.
I mean, that's how we got Cuphead.
That's true.
They just create a Mii Fighter, and it is what it is. So yeah, did you see Atlas had gone to like they put it out to Nintendo fans? Do you want us to port over every Persona game to the
Get
Switch?
Lost? Did they really?
Yeah, they did. So they put it out there. I guess they're trying to. Well, I mean, if Atlas is doing it, that means there's a good possibility of it. But yeah, I don't know how the earlier Persona games are. I've just only heard good things about 3, 4.
You want 4. 4 golden is like that's whatever. Even more, honestly, I feel like even more than 5.
Yeah,
like that. 4 kept me around. 5 I kind of dropped off on after about 20 hours or so.
Yeah,
but also different life situation. But 4 on the Switch which would be very similar to like how everybody played it on the Vita for sure. Yeah. Or 5, which is what people wanted. Like people coming off of 4 playing on the Vita, and then they got stuck on their PS4. They're like, I want to play this on the go.
I think
Switch, man.
I think that's what people. I think that's what people realize. Like, here's the thing. Like, when I played Final Fantasy 2 and 3 on the Super Nintendo, right? I loved them, and I was like, I want. And then when it's, you know what it is? We're gonna go back to it. It's like Animal Crossing. When I played the GameCube version, I was like, I want this. I want this on the TV. And then it goes to a Wild World, which is handheld. It's like, I love this. But man, I want it back on the TV. And then they put it on the TV with City Folk. And it's like, man, I want to leave today because I'm going on vacation, but I can't take the game with me. What do I do? You know? And it's like, and then New Leaf comes out, and New Leaf is just stuck on a handheld. And it's like, there was times where it was like, I loved it, but then there was times where I was sitting in the living room and I was like, man, it'd be so awesome if I could just play on my TV right now. And I'm not, and I'm like, whatever. So yeah, so now that's what's the great thing about the Switch is the fact of like you can take it and go. So it's the same thing, I guess, with Persona is. Here's, 1, 2, 3 or whatever, or on your PS1, 2, and 3 or whatever, and then 4 comes around and it's like on the Vita and it's like, oh, I love it. Then I go 5 and they're like, yes, it's gonna be this powerful console, and then you get it and it's just like, yeah, but I can't take it on the go.
I know.
Now I'm slammed, and it's like that's the right there. That's why I love my Switch.
Of course.
That's the thing that makes me love the Switch. Because I can stream Mario Kart with a bunch of people and scream and yell and be an idiot. And then I could just be like, hey, you know what? I just want to go to my mom's house and I'm going to take my Switch with me and just sit at the house and play it. I love it, man. I love it. It's the best.
The magic is not lost on me even to this day. Even like nearly 3 years later, the fact of like the games that you play on the go, you're looking at them just like Astral Chain's a good example. Just like I'm on the bus playing like this.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when I remember when Breath of the Wild was out, and I would be like sitting in my office at the last job or my lunch break playing, and I was just like, this should not be possible. Yeah. How is this even remotely possible.
I feel like it's important for us to like remind ourselves of that every once in a while.
Yeah.
That like this, like compared to the handhelds that we had just 3.5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty crazy how fast things have moved along, dude.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing,
what do you think? Speaking of surveys, I saw this thing. I was talking to Babbitt about it as well. That Sony was exploring having a remote play, perhaps on Nintendo Switch. I know. I did the same face of like, yeah, I don't like. I think they're just grasping at this point.
weren't
Just
they also
seeing
talking about the
interest.
Xbox as well, though?
Yeah, like they're like yeah. So
They're
it's
looking
like
for
remote
remote
play on
play
a
in
bunch of
other
different
places, yeah.
different devices. So I was just wondering, like, I'm struggling, and I know I was listening to Nintendo Shack as well, and they're struggling as well to kind of figure out like what is Nintendo's like incentive to allow for this to come onto the Switch. Like, if we were at Nintendo, would you do it?
I mean, if I'm Nintendo, it depends. Like, am I getting a kickback off of it? Like, if you're not getting money off of it, then I guess ultimately, if they lock it behind Nintendo Online, then at least they're getting something out of the deal. Like they're getting, But I don't know what I don't know what the
I know, right?
Like, I don't know what the benefit is for them to
Yeah.
do that. Like, I wouldn't.
Like to sell more systems so that you can have access to all these games.
Yeah, but-
maybe it's like that's a
But
stretch. I
dude,
feel.
Let's be honest. Like, they've already sold 52 million. Like,
Yeah, they don't need help there.
yeah, they need zero help right now at selling consoles.
It's so funny because in the way of like the Wii U needed all the help they could get. Nobody would ever want to do this. Nobody, like if you're Sony, you don't want to put anything on there. You want to stay as far away from the thing as possible. But so like the needs never really align. Is kind of what I'm saying. Like Nintendo doesn't need it,
No.
and Sony would love it. But
I
don't know.
Well, I mean, if they can get remote play to work properly, then we can talk about it. But that's
that's a whole other thing. Yeah, you're right about that.
That was something that was garbage.
My whole thing is like there's a whole bunch of surveys going around, and I just don't know how much like to put into it, like to the whole persona thing, or like getting like measuring people's interest versus like having a plan to do it are two very very different things. So
yeah, this is true. This is very.
But
true.
Persona would do very well on the Switch, man.
Yeah,
that game would do bonkers.
I think it would do. Yeah, fantastic. We'll see how it goes. But all right, Sean. I gotta go. I've done my
you don't want to hug it out or anything?
No, we're good. We're good. You're wrong. I'm right. It's what it is.
Okay, I see. I see how it is.
See you later.
See you, man.
Thank you for listening to A Cuppa Joe Nintendo, a production of the You, Me, and Capri Patreon. If you like the show, you can support them at patreon.com/YouMeCapri. A Cuppa Joe Nintendo is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and all of your other podcast services. Be sure to follow Bobby at Nintendo Gurus on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. For everything that Sean does on the internet, follow him on Twitter at Sean Capri. Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. Also, twitch.tv Sean Capri. That is all. Peace out, Preston.